Hey everyone, I just wanted to check in with you. We've now finished Unit 4, so I wanted to make sure to make an announcement about this week. This week is not a typical unit. Instead, you have time to work on your discussion posts. I'll say more about that in just a second. And you have time to catch up on work that you've missed. If you have any questions about any of that, please let me know. I'm going to walk you through a few things here in this screencast. I hope that you're all doing well and that you're enjoying the class thus far. I've really enjoyed reading through your ideas, thoughts, and comments on both the discussion board, the timeline, not the discussion board, and the journal entries, especially about the period of the US-Mexican War. Some really good interactions there. And good interpretations of the events surrounding that particular conflict and what its impacts were on New Mexico. Okay, so I'm going to make my head smaller here and walk you through what I mean by this discussion thing. So we haven't really used the discussion board too much thus far, except in Unit 1. I did mention, and it is listed in the discussion board assignment instructions, you can find those over here in the syllabus tab, please remember that, that you do need to complete a couple of the other discussion forums by November 3rd. That's this coming Sunday. So to find those, well, I should point this out too, I'll click on Learning Modules real quick. So of course you've probably already seen this, hopefully. If you scroll down here to this period between Unit 4 and Unit 5, you'll see that we have a discussion week, as I just mentioned. You can get a link to the discussion board requirements. The instructions are there. If you have any questions, it just provides a more detailed idea of what the expectations are for the discussion board. So I'm going to come over here and click on discussions. What I meant to point out, if you're in section D03 of my class, I have two sections of this course running. The background here in Blackboard looks a little different because I'm showing you section D02, but the assignment, the way things work, that's all the same. So you should have access to all those kinds of things there. All right, so scrolling down here, I don't usually log in as the student view, so it looks like I have tons of unread stuff. So this is the discussion board in general. Hopefully you're somewhat familiar with that. These first few forums allow you to ask questions if you're struggling with anything or specifically with the timeline. This one is just for fun, as it says. This is where you did your introduction and what is history for Unit 1. And now below that, you'll see these discussions listed that are numbered discussion 1, 2, and so on. Read through each prompt because they ask different things. And the idea here is that you'll have an opportunity to use and apply the knowledge that you've gained, the skills that you've already been working on as far as historical analysis in a more creative way. So for example, this first one asks you to think about the Juan de Oñate statue and to potentially propose an alternative to that monument. You can apply all of the learning that you've done, what your own ideas are in the mix of that, and propose something new. The next one, you need to read a couple of things about the Pueblo revolts and write a blog post. You can read through that in more detail. This one, discussion 3, asks you to look at a digital exhibit at the New Mexico History Museum, so it's online, on the Segaser hides, and to think about the difference between seeing things online, digitally, and in person. Discussion 4 here asks you to create a meme, and it gives you instructions about how to do that, but a meme specifically about a certain perspective on the US-Mexico War. Then, discussions 5, 6, and 7, you'll choose from those for the last discussion assignment. So don't do discussions 5, 6, or 7 right now for the third. Instead, you need to choose 2 of these first 4 that I just showed you. Respond to the prompt, be as thorough and as creative as you can be, as you want to be, and then make sure that you respond to at least one other classmate. In your response post, please make sure to give constructive feedback, point out at least one thing that could be improved about the post, as well as what you felt the strengths of the post were. Hopefully that all makes sense, and hopefully I've really emphasized that this is a place for you to be creative. That's why I've given you kind of different formats like memes, thinking about statues and monuments, thinking about digital exhibits, and so on. You'll see a similar pattern with the last three options. Those will be due the same time as the final project. I shouldn't say those. You choose one of the last three, so 5, 6, and 7, that you'll complete between the 3rd and the end of the class. So you'll have that month of November and the first week of December to get that one done. Okay, hopefully that doesn't muddy the water, but helps to clarify. I'm looking forward to reading your discussions. A few of you have already submitted those, and so I'll jump in as I can. And I hope that you have a great week ahead.